right. How do I close that? Anyone? Can you see now my where it says oisis at noise? Perik Aleph. Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see my cursor moving around?
Yeah.
How do I close this side column? You don't know. Okay. All right. We'll
Click that gray triangle. It should work.
The gray triangle. Where's that?
Next to your mouse. A bit down.
My mouse.
To the right.
I don't have a gray triangle.
On the gray bar.
Yes.
On the left of the.
This one over here?
No.
Further over?
Next to the scroll bar.
Here.
There's a to the right. Down. Next to select file to convert to PDF.
Yeah.
There's a small gray triangle on the side. Other side.
This over here.
Yeah.
Oh, geweldig. Skojach. Oh, Rabbi Alufim, you're doing. Okay. Very good. So we went through last week, we spoke about the 22 letters and the Heimoitsois, how they divide into 5 groups. And then we spoke about the vowels and how the vowels are divided into 2 groups of major and minor, yeah? Atnuas Gdoilis, Atnuas Ktanos. And, okay. So I think we're on for hey. Okay. Now, we're going to have here an explanation. Now, really, as I said, dikduk is just understanding what we're doing the whole time. We're davening, we're learning, and just to understand clearer, to break it down, that language, etc., to understand. So now, we've got a consonant or syllable. Sometimes they are simple, and sometimes they are complex. So, o, noi, chi is 3 simple syllables, but yitz is a syllable, but yitz is a combination of 2 sounds, yes? Your o is a single sound, it's just an o sound. It's of, for example, would be 2 sounds, which will come together. So that's where so that those are, you've got simple syllables or where they're complex. What we want to, at this point, explore is, it's going to come up. Do you know the term shvono and shvonach? Levi, for example?
Yeah.
Levi, do you know the difference between shvono and shvonach? Unmute yourself.
Shvana is shava and shvanach is shva.
Okay, good. So let's say the word oishkoi. Is it oishkoi or oishkoi? Is it malche or malache? So there's shvoin. Some shvoin are sleeping shvoin, and they are called shvonach. They are silent shvoin. And then we've got a shvono. Shvono means it's a moving shvo, which means that we went through last week the word tenua or vowel comes from the word of no, of movement. So let's take a word moifsoi. So we wouldn't, the shvo under the fe is a shvo no. So we don't pronounce it moifsoi. We say moifasim. I know you don't always say that when you're speaking in Yiddish, but that's the correct way. That sometimes then when there's a stress on the earlier part, then the next part has to be brought out. You'll see in a moment. Okay, so let's read inside. Tnua ktana, a minor vowel. Kedela malus machsoira, so because it's a short pronunciation. To make up for the fact that it's so short. Therefore, if there is a shvo letter afterwards, it will be a silent shvo, which gives more space. For the vowel. Let's say the word Amram, the name Amram. So A is a minor vowel, And therefore, to give it a bit more space, it's rom. Yitzchak, F rhyme. So it's giving them more space. Sometimes the letter after it is not a shva altogether. So then it's also going to be given a bit more space by stressing, it kind of giving a bit of a landing space. So you have a dogesh. Yosef, do you know what a dogesh is? Unmute.
The dot in the middle, which makes it more stronger, emphasize.
Right. Good. So let's say you learn to tefillin and simon chafei. The broch is it tefillin or tefillin. So it says in Shulchan Aruch it should be it's like as if it were a double, as if it were tefillin. Yeah. So sometimes you've got a dogesh to make it as if it's a double letter. Fine. So now he's saying that if you have a, let's say, give the example of the word tzaddik. So it's Pasach, and then after that, it's a stress on the daled to give as if it were tzaddik, to give more space for the Pasach. So now we're going to go into the next paragraph. Kol tevo mischalekes lahavoros. Every word is a combination of syllables, which means you've got several sounds coming together and they make a word. So we've got O, Noichi, Moshe, Yitzchak, Amram, and we've got now names for the complex one or for the simple one. So the simple one, O, Noichi, are going to be called Havora Pshuta. What does the word Havora mean? So the word Havora means pronunciation or spelt out. So you've got Havora Pshuta, a simple pronunciation, and then you have a complex one. So as I said before, chok, it's got a ch sound and a k sound. That's called a Havora Murkebes. Shai, unmute yourself. Shai? Shai? What is it when you say in Hivrit, when you say Zemurkav? What does it mean?
Complicated.
That's right. So Havora Murkebes, the word complicated means there's a few things coming together. So we've got now two types of syllable. Got a simple syllable like moi, share, and you got yitz, chak, whatever it might be, yeah? So those are more complex. Let's move on. Lif omim, mischalfois hatnuois, hagdoilos, zoi bezoi. Oh, sorry, go back again. Okay. Sometimes the vowels will switch over. Have you ever noticed sometimes you have he'eleso and he'eliso, tsivisi and tsivesi, and so on? We sometimes have that. Okay. As a balkoira, this is important to be sensitive to. Okay, let's move on. Why is it? Bahavur, you see where I'm holding? Bahavur achva shebeneim, tsivisi, tsivesi. If you are balkoira, you get it right, yeah? You prepare and you get it right. But, and otherwise, hopefully you will be corrected. But why do they switch around with one another? Because both of them are similar, that they've got the y sound after that. Yeah, tzivesi or tzivisi. He says further, sometimes the tenuas which don't have an achvo, they're not so close, sometimes they also switch around. For example, you've got kolu. Now, what is the word kolu? They were finished. So that's as if it were written kulu. Kosu, kusu. So sometimes you've got vowels switching over with one another. Okay. Let's go to the next paragraph. V'im. Now, if you remember last lesson, I was pointing out that in modern Hebrew, they will not say kal for all. We say kol or koil. In modern Ivrit, they will say also kol. They will not say kal. Whereas the word davor, they will pronounce davar. Why is this comet switching and this one not switching? Yes, so let's read inside. V'im le'ezer siba, Levi Simon. Can you unmute? Good. Are you? Do you sometimes lay in? Yes? No? You lost for words? You do. Okay. Now, do you know what the word makaf means? Okay. Have you noticed, for example, that sometimes the word is S and sometimes the word is ace? Yes? In the Torah, S or ace. The word, it's like a very often we have this little word aleph tov. Sometimes it's pronounced S. Now, to remember that, whenever it is S, it does not have its own trop. It doesn't have its own emphasis. It's connected to the next word. So, how does in the Chumash, how do these words connect? There's like a little line at the top of the word between the word S, S, S kol, yeah, S kol divrei. So S and kol will be connected with a little line on top of the word. You have this many times in the Siddur also, but in the Chumash, this is important. Any word which does not have a trop will be connected to the next word which does have a trop. And there's a line on the top which connects them. That line is called a makaf. So whenever you see the word ace, it's got a trop and there's no makaf, no connecting line to the next word. When it is connected, it will be S. Okay. Now the word kol, have you noticed in davening? I'm going to open my I've got here a siddur in my hand. In Moedim, the end of Moedim, is it v'choil hachayim or v'chol hachayim? So we say v'chol hachayim. Is that right? And other shuls, other nuschois, they say v'choil hachayim. Yes. What's it got to do with? It's got to do with whether there is as if the two words are connected, v'chol hachayim or v'choil hachayim, or it's like it's got its own emphasis. All right. So here we have the word on its own is koil, but when it's connected, so it loses its independence and it loses its emphasis, and instead of a koil, it becomes kol. Got it? Yosef, got it? Good. If I don't call out your name, it could be because I don't see you on the screen. Yeah. So I apologize if I don't give you that special attention. All right. So now we're going to read the next paragraph, paragraph Zion. Sometimes you have to diminish, to take away the emphasis, to reduce the emphasis. It's going to switch to its own minor role, because if you saw on the previous page, we have the major ones and the minor ones, segel and tseri and segel and so on. So usually it will go down to its own minor one. So let's read, for example, yifroit. So that's the oi. Then because of the makaf, can you see that line there between yifrot and bom? That's called a makaf. Now in this print, it's in the middle like a hyphen, a dash in English. In the Chumash, it will be actually at the top of the like the top line. Moshe Yadaber, there's a seire, but then when it comes Yadaber no, so the base is not bay, is reduced to a be, to a less emphasized syllable. And then we go on to Shomoir and Shomor Lecha. You know, I want to show you something fascinating. I'm going to just give me a minute. I'm going to open up a siddur. Instead of you all having to go and run and fetch a Tzilas Hashem siddur, you can if you want. But I'm going to find one on my computer, okay? Okay, let's come back to you. No. Okay. Now I want to. How do I get back to where we were? Any help from someone? How do I get back to the page where I can share? No. Ah, okay. I'm going to share with you what I just opened. Oh, here. Okay, familiar page? Yes? Okay. Now let's make this a little bit larger. Okay. Can you see the names of the vowels? Komats. Have you noticed that the first vowel, the first vowel is the Tnua Gdoila, then it's the next one is the Tnua Ktana. Now the minor one of that is Patoch, which is first the minor, then the major. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Or is it too complicated? Anyone?
Say it one more time, please.
Okay, good. That if you look on your previous page with the Tenuas Gdolas and the Tenuas Ktanos, the major ones and the minor ones, and we said the O and the A are major and minor. So in the word komats, we've got the major and the minor, komats. In the patoch, we also have both, but it's the other way around. It's the A O. Yes? Now then we got the Tseire and the Segel, the A and the E. A was the Tenua Gdoila. The minor one was the Tenua Ktana. So we've got Tseire. A, E. In the name of the vowel, we've got the major and the minor. Segel, that doesn't work unless you go to Segel. Okay? But let's take a look with the Choilon. We said again, the Oi is the more stressed sound, the Tenua Gdoila, like coil, and when it's reduced, it becomes kol. In the word choilom, you got the oi and the o. Got it? In the word chirik, we remember we had last week e and e. Well, there you have it in the chirik. E, chirik. E, e. Then we had, is it u or u? Remember that discussion? The more stressed u, nu, and nu. And that's in the kubuts. You have also the two vowels, the u and the more stressed and the less one. So I'm just showing you that in the names of the vowels, you actually have the two options of that vowel, whether it's a more stressed one or less stressed one. All right, I'm going to come back to where we were. I'm going to close this page. I'm going to have to find the Schusterman here. There we are. Share. All right. So back where we were, yeah? Okay. Then we come to the word dogesh. Shmuel, what does a dogesh mean? You have to unmute yourself.
The dot in the letter.
I didn't hear you. I hear you. The what?
The dot in the letter.
Right. What does it do?
It stresses it.
Right. Thank you. So now we've got dots in the middle of letters. We've got three types of dogesh. We're going to see. Meanwhile, he says there's two, and we're going to find a third type. So why are the dots in the middle of letters? So we've got 6 letters which change from soft to hard. And they are, the 6 letters are Begad Kafas. Now, when I was younger than you, there was a Sephardish Yid who lived on East Bank. And he used to give prizes for kids who would come and learn Sephardi pronunciation. So he used to give me money, whatever. So yeah, and then I would be able to go to Grudzinski and buy a chocolate roll, you know. So it was helpful. So he taught me how to pronounce Sfardische Havara. Now, Sfardische pronunciation. So we have, by Ashkenazim, we pronounce 4 of these. We've got base and vase. We've got chof and kof, pei and fei, and tof and sof. Does anyone know how Sephardim will pronounce the difference between a gimel, hard and soft? Anyone out there? Zalmi? Any idea? Mendel Austin? Any idea how Sephardim pronounce the difference? How about Shai? Are you there? Shai, how do you pronounce the 2 types of gimel? Let's hear. Come on, let's hear the real thing.
Gimel and Gimel.
Gimel, okay. Okay. I used to pronounce it Gimel, but yes. Okay. And what's the 2 types of Dalet? Shai? Dalet and?
Dalet.
The, like we in English, similar to the in English?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So there you are. So we've got 2 types. Like we've got base and vase. By the Sephardim, they will pronounce a difference between a gimel and a gimel. I didn't get it right, I know. But eventually, perhaps I'll pick it up one time. And they have 2 types of dalet. So we've got these 6 letters. And how do you know whether it's a base or a vase? Whether it's got a dot or not? Yeah, the dot says it's a base, more stressed, and the without a dot is a vase. Okay, so now we're going to read about that inside. Hadogesh, hanik. We have yesham shnei minei dogesh. We've got 2 types of dogesh. We've got hanikra dogesh kal, a minor dogesh, soft one. V'hu bo rak beoisios begad. Okay, sorry about that. Barak beoisios begad kefas, or some people pronounce it beged kefas. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference in the meaning. Is it a base or a vase? Is it a fire or a pyre? Yeah, makes no difference. Yeah. In English, is a fire and a pyre make any difference? Okay. But sometimes you say the wrong way. You call someone Fink and you call him Pink, or the other way around. It might make a difference. Yeah. So it doesn't really make in meaning. It makes no difference. Like chazik al yodo mivta oisius begad kafas. So when is it now? As a balkoida, you do have to get it right. When is it a base and when is it a vase? So, for example, at the beginning of a word is going to be bereshis. Usually, the beginning of a word, if it's a base, is going to be a base, not a vase. He also says if it was preceded by a shvonach, if there was a bit of space before it, it's going to be midbor, korban, because there's space before it. What I mean by space is, perhaps we discussed it last time, when let's say, do you remember we discussed last week by loy sirtzach? So there, the aleph being close to the tov softens it. It's loy sirtzach. But if you read it with a tipcha, loy tirtzach, loy tinof. So when there is more space, then it's a base or a tof. If there's no space before, it may be a vase or a sof. Okay, we're going to have more examples. We'll come back to that later. So that's one type of dogesh, which changes from a tof to a sof or sof to a tof and so on. Yes? Zalman, you got it? Zalman? Zalmi? You're the only Zalmi in the class, as far as I know. Okay, good. Then we've got a dogesh chazak. That is, as we had before, about tzaddik and the lamed of the tefillin. So let's read that inside. Dogesh chazak, hashlim chesaron ois. It's as if there's a letter missing, and it's stressed it to make up if it was a 2. Which is mentioned before in paragraph Hey. The dogesh ze bo bechol oistis aleph beis levad oistis groinios aleph hey ches ayin. she'einu mekablim dogesh kol iker. You've got these 4 letters which will never have a dogesh. Anyone know what the word goroin means? Anyone?
Throat.
Throat, right. So that was at the beginning. We had the 5 groups of letters, and aleph, hey, ches, ayin, they come straight from the throat. Ah, ha, ha, yeah, ah. They come straight from the throat. So they can't have a dogish. There's never going to be a dogish over there. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to open the siddur again, because there's something very interesting I want to share with you. Yeah. So let me go back. Open the siddur again. Which Mendel is that? Oh, good. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you something which I'd like you to analyze. Okay. Away. Okay, let's go back. How do I get back?
So the Lubavitch don't do anything with the Gimel Davish, with Dagish Kaf.
Not only Lubavitch, all Ashkenazim don't. No. Okay, I have to go to some training how to use this. Okay, let's go back to the siddur again. All right, can you all see the siddur now? All right, looking at these 22 letters of Haders Voemuna, do you notice anything different with the first letters? Okay. Have you noticed that it has here ho'ois and ho'aderes? Most of them are ha, habino, habrocha, etc. We have an exception here. We've got ho'aderes and ho'ois. What's the ches? No, there's ha-chayil. And it's also ha-hoid.
And harain varimemis.
Horoin varimemis. Thank you. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. We said just now, we've got those 4 letters, which are oisis groinios. We're going to come up to this soon, that also the reish never has a dogish. If you notice, actually, the reish is already a shrill letter. Mendel, do you know what shrill means? Mendel Austin, do you know the word shrill in English? He said in a shrill tone. Levi, can you tell us what
like
shrill?
A whistle.
Pardon?
Bit like a whistle.
Okay. So reish has got a certain shrillness to it. It's got a certain emphasis already. And that's why little children often can't pronounce a reish. They haven't developed yet. So they say, instead of a reish, they say ayesh, yeah? The story with the Rebbe Rashab is that the Yeba, the Ayegegeben, Mashkem is a Mahafabyengen. Yeah? So those letters don't take, and so what's happening over here, if you can see the screen, the ha bino, ha brocha, hagava, etc. There's a stress after that, but the aderes, the aleph, can't take a dogish, and therefore the previous letter has got a more stressful vowel. Got it? That the stress, instead of being on the main letter of the word, is shifted to the previous letter, and that's true not by all of them, but those ha'aderes, and by, where was it, ha'ois and horoin. Middle of giving a lesson. Okay, let's come back. go back now. I'm going to close that. Sorry about this. I didn't train. When I went to yeshiva, they didn't teach me how to do this properly. Okay, there we are. We're back. All right. So there we've got those four letters which don't have a dogesh. And also resh doesn't take a dogesh. And there he says, Harayu al koyvid havarosa. The fact that resh is a kind of more stressful. You see Tanoikas, when they're very young, they find it difficult to pronounce a resh. Okay. So there we have two types of dogesh. We've got a dogesh to change from a base to a vase, or the other way around, actually. And then we've got a dogesh to give it a stress. And it's now told us, by the way, four letters will not take a dogesh. And we just saw a consequence of that, that instead of saying ha aderes, we're going to say ho aderes, etc. Let's move on. Shvo. Now, how do you spell the word shvo? Shin Vov Aleph or Shin Vase Aleph? Well, here it's spelt with a vase, and in many of the Svarim it's spelt with a Vov. Al Pi Kabbalah, it should be spelt with a vase, and Al Pi, what's more common is spelt with a Vov. At any rate, Shvo Einoi Nechshav Litnua Bifnei Atzmo. Shvo is a little bit of an odd one. If you saw the list of 5 and 5 on the previous page, Shvo didn't figure there. It's not a normal vowel. It's kind of dictated. The identity of the Shvo is going to be dictated by its neighbor. If it kind of is a leaning to the previous part of the word, it's called a shvonach, like in the word yitzchok. The tzaddik has got a shvo, and you pronounce it, you don't say yitzchok, it's yitz. It's kind of part of the yitz, of the year sound. V'im no le'acharo, but if it belongs to the future, that's called a shvono, and we're going to learn about that in the next chapter. Im ha'ois shvo, oh, Shalom Aleichem Levi Anosen. Didn't see you till now. You well?
Yeah, Sam.
You're having a bit of exercise also?
Are we? Yeah.
Good. No, you don't have your weekly walk to the East End.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last question.
Yes.
Yeah, why did the Polish say that by Zakil on the Amro and say Amoro?
Yes. I have a note about that. If you can send me by email, I'll send you my note on that. Yeah. They do have some basis for it. It's not just playing around. Some other things I would say that, but not this. I actually found that they have some basis. Okay. You have a minion in Reisel Close?
Yeah.
Where in the garden, in the front area?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm learning a lot about Polish Nusach now, because I'm one of the only non-strimals in my street, so I'm learning a lot about Nusach Sfard. Okay. Let's do the last piece and then we'll stop for today's lesson. Im ha'ois b'shvo, hi be'emtza ha'tevo. Nosnu mitachas le'ois es siman ha'shvo. In the word Yitzchak, so under the tzaddik, there's a shvo. There's the double dot. Ach imi besoif ha'tevo, if it's at the end, like in the word Yitzchak, under the kuf. The kuf is just the same shvo as the tzaddik, but it doesn't have the dots. Hishmita simna shvo, unless there's going to be some exceptional cases, like in the word brichu, brich, yeah. So in the word brich, the chof has got a shvo, but generally the last letter of a word will usually not have a vowel. If it's a shvo, it's just going to be as if it's not there. Okay, listen, I think the stuff which we learned today was fairly complicated. So if you didn't fully understand it, So listen, we can go over it. And it's also going to be, see it as a basis for what we're going to be learning in the next chapter, because the next chapter is all about Shvono and Shvonach. And so what we've learned now is going to be building blocks to be able to understand that better. So we'll come back to this a lot, okay? So meanwhile, I wish you all a good evening and look after yourselves, be healthy, and see you Bez Hashem on Thursday. All right?
Shkoyach.